What's up, y'all? It's Wayne. Check out Undisputed every Friday to hear my hottest takes from the week in sports. From the Cowgirls to Coach Prime to LeBron. Undisputed is your go-to for the best sports debates from me, Skip, and the crew. Tune in and follow us on foxsports.com, the Fox Sports app, YouTube, and anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode, so the reason why it's titled 2 years later, because if you guys remembered 2 years ago, like if you was a listener in my podcast at that point in time, more so in the beginning of the pandemic, like if you're looking for like a time frame, like okay, like when exactly 2 years ago. But no, like, March 2020, so I had posted, some podcast episodes. I think I was making social media posts. What else was I doing? Did I make any videos? I might have talked about it briefly in some videos and stuff, but, no, 2 years ago, I pretty much had to, like, close the door on a situation between, me and a girl that I had liked. And yeah, it was hard, man. Like it was honestly one of the hardest things, because this was somebody that I seen, you know, as a good friend, but it was like, you know, you realize that you have to like close that friendship too, because here's the thing that I feel like a lot of people don't know: when it comes to relationships, you tend to lose your friends, good friends, you know, whatever type of friends and stuff, like, unless you guys are, you know, in the same area. If you guys aren't in the same area, like for an example, like if you guys aren't working with each other, or if you ain't, you know, if you guys are like in school, or if you guys like live in the same apartment complex, whatever the situation is, like if you guys are within like, you know, some distance of each other, then yeah, you know, most likely you guys can continue on the friendship. But if it ain't that, and you guys is like, you know, in your own like little worlds and stuff, yeah, man, like I'm gonna tell you this right now, like I've seen it with a lot of people that when you get into a relationship, it's like the friendships that you've had with people, and that's one thing that I'm like preparing myself for. It's like the day when I get into a relationship, there's gonna most likely be people I'm like, I'm going to hang out with them for the last time. I'm going to talk to them for the last time. I'm going to, you know, like just overall, like it's going to be a situation where it's like, okay, like now I'm in a, you know, relationship. Now I'm like, you know, focusing on a upgrade in my life. And so, yeah, it's like overall, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm mentally preparing myself for it. You know, and it's like, I'm not going to have an issue or a problem with it and things, like, and it comes down to, like, my relationship, but I mean, if it's people where it's like, okay, like, you know, they obviously need my help for some reason or so, because that's one thing for sure, it's like, you know, I'm a person that likes to help out people and things, so if somebody comes to me and they need my help, and, you know, if whoever my significant other is, if she has, like, a jealousy issue, I'll try to explain it to her. I mean, the best way I can. I know, like, with some people, like, that's, like, the number one leading thing in, like, relationships is jealousy, I feel like. You know, jealousy and just overall being loyal. And I feel like in this day and age, you really don't know. Like, you can look up one day, then you think that the most loyal significant other you've ever had, you look up, then cheated on you. So, you know, you don't really know that those type of things. So I think that's why a lot of times, like, when you look at relationships, like, it's that person and that person. It ain't like no Saved by the Bell, like, oh yeah, we can still talk with our exes and be cool with each other and this and that and be friends and all that stuff. Like, the one thing that I'll tell you guys, like, right now, so the girl that I had liked, because like I said, you know, we were friends and stuff. And so prior beforehand, and I know a lot of people gonna probably be asking, like, were you guys really friends though? Like, after I'm about to say what I'm about to say, but every time when I wanted to hang out with her, always was busy. I mean, like, it was at times, there was one time where it did kind of like get to me a little bit, because I'm like, we're literally in the same city. I'm off work. Like, I think, because my thing is like, with what she does, like, maybe I don't know the full extent of it, but I'm like, I feel like that I could have overall, like, hung out with her, and my thing is, like, I'm not going to be one of those type of people where I just show up and then put you in an awkward situation. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that type of person. I don't like when people do that to me. So, like, my thing is this. I'm like, if you don't want to hang out, fine. I'm cool with that. I'm chill with that. But it's like, at least tell me, like, have, like, some sort of communication and stuff. And yeah, it's like it was never that. It was like every time I was like, hey, like it was always like a rare and random occasion when we would hang out and stuff. It was never like, cause like no, that was one thing that she always would say is like, I'm like her best friend. Like I'm like the closest. I thought I was like I don't know. I'm like but she did consider me like a best friend and things. I'm like. I see best friends. I'm like, there's the one dude, I've been hanging out with him since I was 10 years old. Like, even after we graduated from school, bro, me and this dude, we were going on drives to, like, random cities in Washington. I remember one drive, we got lost. We didn't even know where we were at. What else? We went bowling at, like, freaking, like, at midnight and stuff. Like, nah, me and him, we were, like, bro, before, and the thing is, though, because he got married, he has a kid, he's living his life and all that stuff. I can understand that, but like before that, bro, we was hanging out at least like once a month. We would go to the mall, shop for shoes. We would go freaking just everywhere, bro. Literally everywhere. There was at times where I was going, hanging out with him so he could go and get like a gift for his now wife, and I'm like, bruh, like we were constantly hanging out. There was never a time when we wasn't hanging out like that. That's like my brother and stuff, So we had hung out not too long ago. I hung out with him, went to a restaurant, got a beer. I don't even like beer, but I drank it, and I'm like, this is disgusting. I'm like, why did I even order this? I should have just got me a water, some soda, or something. But I'm like, hey, that's my homie. I'm gonna hang out with him and stuff. I don't care. It's something that we gonna laugh about, whatever it is and things. But overall, like, like making a point, me and him was hanging out all the time. We didn't even have to tell each other like, we're best friends, we bros, we friends, whatever it is. Like, we knew that, that was just something that we knew just based off of how long we've known each other, how many times we hung out with each other and stuff. So anyways, like I'm telling you, if like me and him was like the same like race or something, people probably would have thought like we were brothers and stuff. But yeah, it's like overall, like we were hanging out all the time and things. So it's one of those things where it's like, even if not that, it's like, fam, we were playing video games and crap, and but I mean, me and this girl, there was at times we were playing video games and stuff. So, but yeah, it was like, it just seemed like it wasn't as much, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm like, just overall, like that's one thing for sure that I can tell people. It's like, don't get your hopes high. Like, if you find yourself talking to a person and you think this is the one, it's like until some stuff goes down, until something happens. If like, and that's the thing where it's like a lot of people be expecting like, because like I'm telling you, it's like the way this world is, where it's like you're just like clueless to how you're supposed to act with the person. Like, you got people that out there that don't really like confrontation, so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna confront you on some stuff, but I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna like let you know that I like you and things, and then but it's like you got where there's people, they find that weird, so it's like, okay, I won't do that. Then you end up talking to a person that's like, oh, well, I want you to, be strong and assertive. And is assertive is a word? I feel like it's a word. It's literally 2 in the morning. My English vocabulary right now is not fully there and stuff. So, but, like, no, they be wanting you to, like, be, like, freaking just, like, strong about what you're saying and stuff. So, I really don't like know how. My thing is this: I've gotten to a point in time where I'm just kind of like socially awkward and stuff, because I'm like, I don't know how to act in front of people and things. Like, until somebody is like blunt with me, then I'm like, hey, at this point in time in my life, I'm like, I'm just gonna stay content to myself and just be chilling and stuff, because I'm like, I don't know what people want nowadays. So, But anyways, well, I feel like because I was like talking on something, I was making a point with something. I'm like having my TV on, looking at that, and then trying to tell you guys like these past two. I feel like that's what I should get into is like what's been going on these past 2 years, like after that situation. But getting back on that situation, like overall what had happened for those that don't know. So yeah, 2 years ago, madly in love with this girl. It was like that for like some years like prior before. I met her years prior before, like 2-3 years prior before. And yeah, just every day was thinking about her. I mean, bruh, like anybody can like walk up on me about like who are you thinking about right now. And I think if people that overall like knew me and knew the situation, they knew who I was thinking about. They knew I was telling everybody about her. I was like, no, this is literally this has to be the one. I'm like, no, there ain't no way. You don't just randomly just meet. But yeah, it's like like fast forward to 2020, and then she just drops it on me that she's in a relationship, and then it's like that was like that pretty much just sunk everything that was in me. Like that was probably one of the worst depressions I've ever been in my whole life. Like that's something where I'm like, I don't think she will ever understand. I don't think anybody in this world will ever understand. I mean, and that's the thing where it's like, I'm saying that, but it's like, I guess more so for myself on how I was feeling the things. I know there's people out there with similar feelings. I'm not going to say my feelings are stronger than everybody else, but I am going to say it's like, what I was going through back 2 years ago, I would not want nobody to go through that and stuff. So yeah, man, it was tough. It was tough, like trying to get out of that mindset, because I was like, I didn't want it to be a situation like how it was back in high school. Like same thing kind of like happened to me back in high school. And I had just pretty much like I'm more so I wouldn't necessarily say I hid from the world, but I just kind of like I kept to myself, like I feel like I'm kind of like doing that now, but I really kept to myself back then. Like I wasn't I was like the friend that I was talking on, I was like he was really the only person I was really like talking to and things. Other than that, it was all like I wasn't really like talking with anybody. Like it was just that's like one thing I feel like that people will overall say like I had changed. Like even I had realized that I had changed. It was something that was like, I wasn't really talking on like the high school experience. I just wasn't really expecting to go through no stuff like that, but yeah, man, it was hard. It don't really help when you listening to sad music too, and so that's why I had to say like, Waka Flocka Flame, you one of my favorite artists. Thank you for getting me out of some depressing times. I'm like listening to freaking what was it? He did the same song but with two different artists. It was called 50K. That freaking what other songs was getting me through it? There were some songs that was getting me through it, man. But yeah, I was all like, dubstep too. I think dubstep was kind of getting me through it and things. But anyways, then yeah, it's like then years later, and now I'm an adult. Feel like my emotions are a little bit they wasn't as strong as they were back when I was in high school. It's like you brand new to things, you thinking you ain't gonna deal with no stuff again, and then all of a sudden you find yourself right back in the same spot, March 2020. So yeah, man, it was tough and stuff. So but anyway, so what happened afterwards? What happened in the 2 years where I was like attempting to find myself? So overall, like kept just at it with content creating, took it more serious than I could. I think anybody can see that, like in 2020, like that year of like working on content and stuff, like it was a good year. I was freaking killing it with content creating and stuff. Even it was like, I mean, I'm telling you, it was crazy. It was in some insane stuff to look at and things. But overall, like did I try to get into the like dating scene and stuff? I overall did. There was and it's funny, every situation, I was thinking about this the other day. Every situation ended in the same way. The same way as the time in high school, the same way in March 2020, and every situation. So there was like one girl I had to say, and I had to say that was like the one I'm like, why? I sit down and I ask myself, like, this is the one girl that actually was giving me some attention, and I turned her down for somebody else just to have it where that somebody else turned me down for somebody. And I'm like, bro, it sucks like that. Like, oh my god. So yeah, let's just talk on that and things. So anyways, so after I had to say, like, after it, I so like 2020, I didn't get back like into the dating scenes. I was like, I wasn't even thinking about it and stuff. I was like, nah, gotta get my mind right and stuff, because I was like, I had to say, like, even though I was doing a lot with content creating, my mind wasn't. I don't even know how I got through content creating in 2020. I'm like, the stuff that I was doing, I'm like, man, I don't know. I was like, I guess, like, overall I got older, and my emotions, it was like strong but weak at the same time. But yeah, man, it was overall tough and things. So anyways, took 2020 off to with the dating stuff. 2021, got back into it. Talked to well, was it? Well, no, it was like one year, then one the next year, and yeah, both girls that was that I thought I was talking to, both turned me down, and I'm like, dang, man, like, what is wrong with me? Like, you sit down and ask yourself that question. It's like, what is going on? Because this just doesn't even make any sense. Like, how does every girl that I've ever had some sort of like feelings for always is like, talking to somebody else? I'm like, nah, man. It's like, I swear, next time a girl tells me that, I'm like, hey, look, you gonna have to tell homie to wait, because I'm like, every other girl in my whole life of existence, it's always been on some stuff like that. I'm like, tell homie to wait, okay? I'm like, just give me a slight chance. Just give me 5 minutes of your time real quick. So I'm out here sounding like a Jehovah's Witness and stuff, but no, man, overall, it's like some stuff almost fell over, but no, yeah, it was just, first girl, it was like, overall told her, I was just all like, yeah, it's like, I got some feelings for you and stuff. I'm like, can't help it. I'm like, we talk a little bit, we both supportive of each other and things. I'm like, like, so, yeah, it's like, that's how I'm feeling right now. And then just, yeah, overall, like, she said that she was talking to somebody else. I'm like, dang. I'm like, it's just, I guess that's just like the ongoing pattern in my life and things. And then, freaking fast forward. So here was the other, so the thing was this. So the next girl that I started talking to, like, I, was like, I wasn't like jumped right into it and telling her and things. But, no, I was like, first day of meeting her, I was like, already was digging her and stuff. So I waited. I was all like, no, I need to see if she makes any posts, social media stuff, whatever it is, I need to know. And then she made a post where she was talking about her ex, and so I'm like, okay, she is single. I'm like, I assume that she is not talking to nobody. She is single, okay? And then, yeah, overall, told her how I felt. And then, yeah, same situation. Told me that she was talking to somebody. I'm like, is there, like, a secret meeting of, like, women? I honestly, I'm like, man, I'm telling you, like, I am probably one of the most, like, paranoid individuals, because I'm like, bro, I don't think there ain't no secret. I was just cracking a joke. I don't want nobody to, like, take, like, oh, TMossBoss thinks that women be having secret meetings about him and stuff. I don't want nobody saying no dumb stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, it's just weird how, like, and I feel like next girl I talk to, she gonna be on some stuff where she's already talking to somebody, and I'm like, okay, well, dang, maybe I just need to go buy that cabin out in the woods and just chop down trees my whole life and just have, like, a dog and things, just, play fetch with him on the porch and stuff, and just be out there by myself. Wear, like, them, like, plaid, like, them red and black plaid shirts and things, and, cut the sleeves off once when the muscle starts getting big and things. And just honestly, just like, because I've thought of that past 2 years, like, that was something I thought heavy on, is, being alone. Because I know eventually it's going to get to a point in time where it's like I move out of the current house that I'm in. And I feel like I'm just going to overall, because that's like one thing I was overall wanting to do, is like I wanted to move to Oregon. And, just, like, live life, like, where it's like, okay, like, I'm away, like, overall, like, close to, like, friends and family, but at the same time, like, I'm away and, just kind of on my own and starting fresh and things, because I think that might be what I need, but I'm like, I'm not trying to go all the way to a different state, and then it's the same thing out there. So it's like, it's just where my mind is at right now. My mind is just very paranoid with life, and I'm like, man, it's like you just look at every corner. It's all like, okay, what's gonna have me in my feelings tonight? What's gonna have me in my so yeah, it's like it sucks, and then I know people are probably asking like, do you have feelings? All right, so because I feel like people are gonna probably ask like, do you have feelings for that first girl? And to overall answer that question, I don't know. Because I'm like, a part of me wants to think that if a situation were to come down where she's all like, like I broke up with that guy, like I want to start something with you. I feel like, because I'm like, no, that was like one of the, because I remember when she told me, I like, it was a ticking time bomb pretty much. Like it was just counting down, and eventually it got to a day where I just really told her how I felt. And I remember that was one of the things that she told me. And like younger me would have been like, I don't care about nobody else's feelings. I care about mine. But no, I remember when I overall told her again, because I had told her numerous times how I felt, but I had told her again like around that time, like a little bit after when she told me that she had started seeing this guy. And yeah, I was just like, I couldn't even hold it in. I was like, I was just, emotions, they just blew up at that point and stuff. So anyways, I remember that was like one of the things that she had told me was all like, imagine how he would feel if I were to tell him some stuff like that. And it's like when you sit down and you think of that, and then you just kind of like think of everything else that had happened, it's like a part of me wants to believe that if that were to be the case where she's all like, like, oh, I want to be with you, it would have to be like some time down the road. I'm like, I really don't see it happening now. But that's the thing, like, I really don't know where my emotions be leading me at times. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. It's like it's one of those things where it's like I'm obviously talking to other women and stuff, but at the same time I'm like it's just where my emotions be at. It's like me being vulnerable. I probably most likely would and stuff, and I'm like I don't know. I just need to have like more control over myself. Like I need to overall just have it where it's like no, it's like. And that's the thing where I'm like, I don't want to be on no like petty stuff where it's like, okay, well you rejected me, so now I gotta reject you. Now I gotta put you through what you put me through. And that's not me. And that's the thing where it's like, even that girl, like the first girl, and not the first girl from high school, but the girl like like where she told me all this stuff in the beginning of the pandemic. Like even she had told me that where it's like I'm too nice, and I'm like I agree, and I honestly at times I wish I wasn't, but at the same time I'm like I'm not a petty person, I'm not mean, I'm not evil, I don't want to put people through things that they don't need to be through and stuff. Like I try to like be like just cool with people and stuff, and try to, and then then it's like I don't know, I ain't gonna necessarily say like people. But at the same time, though, I feel like people do kind of take advantage of me where it's like, I don't want to say that, but then at times, like, I see it and I'm like, all right, I'm being taken advantage of. It's like, overall, I'm like, cut those people off and then just move on with my life and things. But I'm not going to, like, say anything evil, mean, or, like, disrespectful to them. I'm just going to silently walk away from that situation and move on. And that's overall, like, and that's the thing where it's like, this, like, the first girl, she still to this day considers me a good friend, but I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, if I was so like, and this is where it's like a part of me, it's like, where it's like I want to let my emotions out again and stuff, but it's like not like no loving emotions, but like let you know how I really feel, because my thing is this, like I know I'm not a mean guy. I know that for a fact. Like, and that's the thing where it's like, I'm not trying to say this on some stuff where it's like, she needs to like give me a chance. I'm like, I feel like overall that ship has sailed. She ain't giving me no chance. I feel like the next like relationship thing that's gonna happen between me and her is probably most likely her invite me to like their wedding, because like no, these guys is like in a full-blown relationship now. It's like I think at one point they were just kind of like testing the waters, like now they in a full-blown relationship. And yeah, overall, I feel like next thing that's gonna happen between me, her, and overall, and that guy being brought up in the conversation is her invite me to their wedding or something. So that's why I'm like, I really don't want to like, cause I don't want to see that. I'm gonna be truthfully honest with you. I don't want to see that. And that's where it's all like, it's like, yeah, I'm trying my hardest not to be petty. And but on some stuff like that, it's like I feel like that's if there was I'm gonna just put myself in a situation like that. If there was a girl that had chased me for literally years, bruh, like years, spent every day thinking about me, spent every day talking to me. Anytime when I would come out and, talk on like some content creating stuff, she's always supporting it. She unsubscribed to every single one of my YouTube channels, then showed up to every single one of my streams, then liked every post that I've made on social media and stuff. Like, she has spent like time overall on me as if this was like a 9 to 5 job, right? She does all of that just for me to drop it on her one day. It's like, yeah, I'm in a relationship and we're getting married and I want to know if you want to come to the wedding. I'm not gonna put her through that. Like, cause I can only imagine how an individual, I can already see right now, like, if something like that would happen, cause just so overall, like, paint that picture to, put out that scenario, right? So let's say cause I'm like, bro, it was even like my like close friends and stuff. I wasn't even showing up to their weddings and those type of things and stuff. So like I show up to hers. I can tell you right now, it's like my heart is not gonna be in a good place right then and there. It's like I know I'm not gonna say anything crazy. I know I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm probably just gonna try to hurry up, be like congratulations, leave, probably come home and cry. But other than that, I'm like, I ain't trying to be there for no long periods of time talking with everybody, doing, so that's why I'm like, a part of me is like, I just know that that's not going to work out and stuff. So that's why I'm like, on something like that, I think that will probably be like, hey, because like, I know people are probably asking, like, you still keep in contact with the girl? Yes, I do. I know, like, I shouldn't, but I do and stuff. Like, there's even been times where, like, people have told me, it's like, you shouldn't be in contact with her, but I'm like, can't help it. I'm a nice person. She told me that. Literally, everybody tells me that. I'm a nice person. I don't really see that in my character, because there's at times where it's like she needed my help with stuff, so I was like, all right, it's, if you need my help, you need my help. It's like, I'm not gonna be all like, oh, you should have thought about that before I'm not that type of person and stuff, so that's why I'm like, hey, you know what? My thing is this, I know, like, I know, like, she wasn't doing it with, like, like, bad intentions on, like, to hurt me and put me in this, like, mental state. I'm not gonna put that blame on her, but I am gonna say, like, I wish it, like, that just wasn't the case. Like, I don't want to say, like, no mean stuff where it's like, I wish I had never met her and things, but at the same time, I probably wouldn't have, like, been going through this, like, mental state that I'm in right now. So, like, I probably would have been in a much more better mental state, and I'm like, it's like, I look at, like, at the beginning of the pandemic and stuff and see, I'm like, because I truly do believe, like, I probably would have been in a different spot if I wouldn't have went through that stuff in the beginning of the pandemic. I definitely feel like that. So, it's like, overall, because, like, no, that's how we even became friends in the first place. I remember I told her, it's like, hey, it's like, you need a friend, because she was going through some stuff, and I was like, you need a friend to talk to, I'm here for you and stuff. And yeah, overall, it was like, that's how we became friends. And so no, it was like, I'm like, bro, I'm tired. I really don't even, like, no, I'm like trying to, like, I should have just started all the way from the beginning and then just work my way and then try to, like, conclude this podcast episode and stuff. I'm not trying to do this all over again, because I'm 28 minutes deep. So I'm just going to let y'all know, like, I did this close to 3 in the morning where my mind is not fully right and stuff. But how can I end this off? Because I'm just gonna go to bed. I think that's the best thing to do. So, anyways, moral of this podcast episode, like I said earlier, if something's gonna happen between you and an individual, yeah, just make sure something does happen and it'll put you in a state where it's like, you're sitting around like looking at everybody have like these loving and successful relationships that led into marriage and all this other stuff, and you kind of just sitting there. Like, don't put yourself in no state like that and things. So just make sure you take good care of your brain and heart and stuff, and just overall, don't put yourself through no stuff like that and things. Like, it's tough, man. It's a tough thing to overall like manage and things. So yeah, overall, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. I probably will try to redo this episode again when I'm more wide awake. Crazy thing is, had a Red Bull, tired, just mad tired and ready to go to sleep and things. So, but yeah, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and peace. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.